PFF is running one of their biggest sales ever. 40% off a PFF Plus subscription right now using the promo code BLACKFRIDAY. That means that you get everything fully unlocked. You get the grades, you get the stats, you get all the fantasy advice, the betting advice, which our new player prop tool is available on web as well to make you a smarter, better. You've got all of the draft analysis, the free agency analysis, all of that great stuff. Subscribe.pff.com to get 40% off a year-long PFF Plus subscription. Get it now. The Packers and the Lions. Packers go into Detroit and get the victory 31-24. Top 5 graded players that we had for Green Bay. Wide receiver Dontavian Wicks at the top of the list with an elite 91.7 overall grade. Linebacker Isaiah McDuffie with an 87.0. Edge rusher Micah Parsons an 82.9. Wide receiver Christian Watson a 79.4. Offensive tackle Zach Tom a 74.0. And then Jordan Love in this game a 91.2. He was excellent. On the Detroit side of things, wide receiver Jameson Williams at the top of their list with a 91.2. Safety Brian Branch an 83.6. Offensive tackle Penei Sewell a 75.0. Linebacker Derek Barnes with a 73.8. And then offensive guard Tate Ratledge at number 5 for them with a 71.8. Jared Goff in this game at 81.0. Dalton, I want to give you a shout out here just for calling this on the Wednesday show, how important Christian Watson was probably going to be to this Packers team and unlocking that vertical aspect of their game, and where Christian Watson was a factor in that area in this game, Dontavian Wicks was as well. So your point of having these guys being reliable vertical threat players to really open up this offense, I thought stood true in this game and was a big reason why they were able to win.
Absolutely. I think that threat, especially with them not having Tucker Kraft and having to play more 11 personnel since he left, they've got to find a way to be dynamic on the outside, right? Because you could argue that Tucker Kraft was their most dynamic receiver, tight end, wide receiver, maybe the most dynamic offensive player, especially with what he adds to in the run game and how you can change up personnel. They can't really do that now. So getting Watson in there to essentially do what Matthew Golden was drafted to do. Golden missed this game due to injury, but be that speed threat, be a guy who can make contested catches down the field. Wicks also with just a fantastic touchdown catch in the left corner of the end zone there. And then Jordan Love putting it all together. This to me was one of, if not the signature game, one of the 2 or 3 signature games of Jordan Love's career. That's how good he was in this game. 91.8 passing grade, 4 big-time throws, 4 touchdowns, came through in every moment when they needed him to. And, Trev, something that I like looking at when we're going through the pages and prep and shows and all of that is when we go into the game reports in Premium Stats and PFF Plus, okay, we get the pressure and depth report, which really tells you there's a big breakdown of a lot of the splits that gives you on that page of pressure, clean pocket, blitz, not blitz, the depth of target, all of that stuff. When Jordan Love was in a clean pocket in this game, 94.5 passing grade. All right, you see it right there. Click in there, go to pressure and depth under passing there, and it gives you all the splits on all the different dropbacks here. 2 things that stand out to me. This is one of the first pages I look at with every game is what was the quarterback splits? Was he great in play action? Was he great against the blitz? Clean pockets, 94.5 passing grade. All right, and that's at 42% pressure rate's pretty high there. If you get up above 40, that's pretty high. But when he was clean, he was outstanding, and that correlates to in this game when the Lions chose not to blitz him and they just sent a 4-man rush, he was awfully comfortable, 94.4 passing grade. Jordan Love was so comfortable in this game. The threat of Watson being added the last few weeks vertically is opening up all the spacing that he needs to make any throw on the field. And you want to talk about clutch. It just any time he needed to make a throw in this game, he was the best player on the field.
Yeah,
This was the best game that he's played, I think, this season. His 2 highest graded games since the start of last year have come in the last 3 weeks. This game and the Giants game a couple weeks ago. If he's going to get hot now, I mean, we got 2 Packers-Bears games left to go. It's going to get to be a whole lot of fun here with Green Bay if Jordan Love is going to play like this consistently. That's all I can say. I was watching this game, and I was like, man, this is one of those games where Jordan Love was unstoppable.
Yeah, I went back and I watched this game, and he's clearly very, very confident in this game. Like, he was clearly just very excited to play in this game. I don't know if it was just the Thanksgiving, the rivalry part of it, like whatever it was. He was very, very pumped up about this game. Now, I will say, 91.8 passing grade, the 4 big-time throws is the reason why, right? That's doing a lot of heavy lifting for him because when you look at I saw his completion percentage. His raw completion percentage was under 60% in this game. And his adjusted completion percentage was a 63.5%. So not exactly like a super efficient day from Jordan Love, but you go back and you watch the actual reps of him throwing the football and navigating the pocket and everything. He's so confident the whole time. And there are a couple of throws that, yeah, he misses, but there were a couple of rollout throws where, he is getting out of the pocket. Whether it was escaping pressure or it was a design rollout, he is on the run and he's just firing the football to a spot where that wide receiver is coming across the field horizontally, and just the timing, the pace, the everything just perfect from him. So many big throws in this game. I will say the stat that told the story, though, it's 4th down for this Packers team. 3 4th down chances in this game. They were 3 for 3. 2 of them were touchdowns. The other one was the game-sealing throw to Dontavian Wicks. When you play a tight game against a really good opponent, how you perform on 4th down, because when you got a Dan Campbell game, he's going to push you to the limits. They're going to go for it on 4th down when it makes sense for them, and you're probably going to have to as well to keep pace with them. And I think that's also a little bit of how Detroit likes to keep you uncomfortable, is how aggressive they are, knowing that if they get it, not only did they get it, but then you probably have to start going for it in spots where it makes the most sense, because they're going to keep their foot on the gas. So 4th down was always going to be very, very important for this team in this game, and they went 3 for 3. Like I said, 2 of them were touchdowns, and the other one was the game-sealing play. So hats off to Jordan Love. Very confident, fun game to watch a player of his talent be able to play games like this. When he is this confident, he is a dangerous man. And the Packers are as well.
Absolutely. Credit the defensive side, and I know it's a high-scoring game here, but I also want to shout out Isaiah McDuffie at linebacker filling in for Quay Walker. He was just all over the place. 12 tackles, 7 total stops, 87.8 run defense grade, also a hit on Jared Goff. And something I want to point out one more time, because it's the Lions. Now, in total, they went over 100 rushing yards. They had they had 119, but 24 of that came on that one Jared Goff scramble that it was the second longest run of his career. So under 100 designed rushing yards for the Lions in this game. Isaiah McDuffie, a big reason for that. Another game under 100 designed rushing yards. If I take out the Goff scramble, another game they lost. And I'm looking. Jared Goff was really good in this game. He was as good as he could be without Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jamison Williams was awesome.
That was tough. Losing Amon-Ra St. Brown, obviously a massive difference in
the same vein as I talked about the Colts earlier. You know what? You hold them under 100 yards rushing, and if Jared Goff beats you, he beats you. Fine. But I'll take my chances with that. Right. And that's what the Lions are right now.
Yep.
That's another game where under 100 designed rushing yards that they didn't come away with.